what do you think, maybe even whether it's the pandemic or not, like how has United Way's mission either been refined or redefined in the midst of this to a lot of the things you were already talking about?
Great question. We have made a very clear shift from community chest to community change agent. And thankfully, that shift was already occurring prior to the pandemic. So we were more well-positioned to bring together a cross-sector of partners, examine real-life data, both lived experience, people's life stories and getting close to the issues in community, then bringing together the right partners to help present solutions and then invest in them and scale them up. That's a very different model. Yeah. And so thankfully, we'd already been working in that way. And what that means is it's inviting the entire community into the United Way beyond just their dollar inside their workplace campaign. We've always been the place to give help and get help. And that has been really needed in this season, right? People who've never needed help before need help now. And we want them to know where to turn, and they can turn to the United Way. And people who have wanted to give help, right, but don't know where to turn or who to trust, we want them to know that the United Way is a place to bring them together. But through the power of collaboration, at United Way, 1 + 1 = 4. And that's what I love about it, right? We can take your dollar and your volunteer hour and this organization's expertise and this company's, specialty and put those things together to see a much more sustainable outcome. And we've seen that happen through COVID in really amplified ways. Think about EPB and TVA, right, yeah. Stephen? As well as I do, the power of that collaboration and what that has meant.
Oh, yeah.
We have a company that says, man, our customers that we care deeply about can't pay their utility bills. And without power, how in the world will they work remotely, educate their children, just keep the lights on, right? And so they realize, my goodness, if we can invest in a solution with the United Way, we can actually help our customers, help our base. But now they're scaling that up through partnership with TVA. And then through a long list of community partners who are trusted and on the ground. That's where you start to see 1 + 1 = 4 for our community members.
Right. And the impact
much bigger than the community chest model.
Absolutely, right? It's the fun term to sound really fun is like transactional is one way where I give money and it does this output, to transformational where I make an investment, right? And we see that yield a lot. And the TVA example is a great one where I know for them, a lot of that was an investment in the economic regrowth of Chattanooga, right?
Exactly.
And that's how they saw it. It's like, this is an effort to not just sustain, but then to say, how do we thrive? How do we get out of this thriving, which is huge.
And the data piece really does matter, right? Because needs are everywhere, but we have such a commitment to figure out the trends, where needs are moving, where they're shifting, what's happening. You asked earlier about the long-term outcomes or the problems of COVID-19. It's not just that disparities are growing wider. It's that we've got to be able to look at data and understand, what this is going to mean for our children in the years to come. And what this is going to mean for our Alice families or those who are working hard, but right on that borderline of poverty, and figure out where those trends are moving so that we can deploy resources where they're most needed to empower people, not just to Band-Aid something, but to really empower people.